Hello, mighty companions. This is Earl Purdy,
And Anna Kujawa.
and we back to do some more hardcore course.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun. And you hear that? Dun dun dun. That's right. We have to pay some copyright
That's
on
right.
that.
We're
That's
the
right.
Course in Miracles superheroes.
That's right. And we are going to continue with chapter 30 in the Course in Miracles, and we're going to be on section 4, paragraph 4. And we're going to be using the Foundation for Inner Peace version of the Course in Miracles. And it's chapter 30, section 4, paragraph 4.
The reality behind, the truth behind illusions.
Is the name of the section.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to read it, and Anna's going to tell me what she heard, and then I'll also add in the thing that I heard. And then she'll do the same thing. I'll read it for her. She'll read it for me. And what we want to do is remember what the Holy Spirit, the higher mind, is trying to get us to see about this particular section. And so we will invite you to just not be in a frame of mind that we're trying to analyze the Course. We're really trying to hear the Course. That's why we call it hardcore. Because we actually want to hear what the voice for the Course is actually saying. And remember, you need not believe the ideas. You need not welcome the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. The Course says some of the ideas are going to be hard to believe and quite startling, but we're not asked to judge and analyze the ideas at all. It keeps telling us if we use it, we will see that it's true. Because the ideas, it says the ideas will show us that the ideas are true.
Right.
Not me showing me that the ideas are true. It says the actual ideas will show us that the ideas are true.
Yeah.
Anything you want to
Yeah.
say,
So
Anna?
let's just use this time to use the ideas together. We'll use them. We'll use them on ourselves, and you use them on yourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it starts out by saying, reality observes the laws of God, which means not the rules you set.
Oh.
So reality observes the laws of God, not the rules you set. It is God's laws that guarantee your safety. All illusions that you believe about yourself obey no laws. All the illusions that you believe about yourself, they seem to dance a little while according to the rules you've set for them.
That's right.
But then they fall and cannot rise again.
Oh.
They are but toys, my child. So do not grieve for them. The illusions that you believe about yourself that obey no laws, that seem to dance a little while. He says, then they fall and cannot rise again. They are but toys, my child, so do not grieve for them. The dancing of your illusions never brought you joy, but neither were they things to frighten you,
Right.
nor make you safe if they obeyed your rules. They must be neither cherished nor attacked, but the rules that you set for your enjoyment, the rules that your false ideas, your illusions dance to, merely should be looked upon as children's toys without a single meaning of their own. See a meaning in them, and you will see a meaning in them all.
Okay.
See no meaning in them, and they will not touch you.
Okay. All right. So what I heard in there is how to play with the things in my life, my illusions. And my illusions are the things that I play with in my life that I make up rules for, and then I tell myself, oh, if this relationship follows those rules, or this situation follows the rules I set up for it, I'll be safe and happy. Those are my illusions. Okay, so your illusions is whatever you're playing with that you want to, that you make up rules for, that you're expecting to follow those rules, and when they don't follow those rules, then you go, oh no, my world is made chaotic and unsafe. And who did this to me? Okay, now, I heard instructions of how to be with the things in my life, my toys, as the Course calls them, whether that's a relationship or a situation or event or a thing, and how to do it safely and how to do it sanely, so that I still experience safety and joy. Okay, so here's what I heard. That what's real what keeps me safe is something that observes the laws of God and not the rules that I set up. Okay, that is what really keeps me safe. What really keeps me safe observes the laws of God, not my rules. Good to know. As a matter of fact, it's God's laws which guarantee my safety, not the rules I make up for the people I play with and the things I play with. And then it says, all the illusions that I believe about myself, they don't obey any laws. So the illusions I believe about myself are like this. Oh, if you act right, oh, if that goes the way I want it to, I'll be happy and I'll be safe, right? That's illusions I believe about myself, and those illusions don't obey any laws. The illusions that I play with in the world, all the things I set up, ooh, this will make me happy, ooh, this will complete me, ooh, if this just does what I want it to, I'll be happy and safe. It says, all those illusions that I play with, my toys, they seem to dance a little while according to the rules for safety I set for them. But then all the things I play with in the world, the people, the things, the events, the situations, after they dance to my expectations for a while, they fall. And they can't get up again. Like, you know, I've fallen and I can't get back up. What's that say? I've fallen and I can't get up. That's what my toys say to me. That's what sometimes my relationships say to me. That's what sometimes the situations that I experience in my life and the events and the things I like to play with, my blown up children's toys, after they seem to, ooh, they're going to satisfy me, they're going to make me happy, this is so awesome, they fall. Meaning they stop satisfying me, they stop following my rules for safety, and then they just can't get back up again. And then it says, the things you're playing with in form, the external things you're playing with in form, they're just toys, my children. I want you to know about the things you're playing with. The things you're playing with in form that you think, oh, if they'll just go the way I'd like them to, I'll be happy and safe. Those are toys. Those are toys, children's toys. And then so he wants us to know that they're just toys. And so since they're just toys, don't grieve for them. When the events and the circumstances and the situations and the relationships that you thought would make you happy if they would just go the way you wanted them to, they fall, they don't make you happy anymore. Don't grieve. Don't mourn. Don't blame. Don't get angry. They're just toys. Don't grieve for them. Whatever they were going to do in form never really brought you joy. Whatever was happening in those situations or events or relationships, that's not what brought you joy anyway. And it's also not what was frightening you anyway. So, and it's not also those are not the things that made you safe. So don't mourn for them. Don't grieve for them. Don't get angry when your idols, your external toys fall and can't satisfy you anymore. He says, and here's the other instruction of what to do with them, okay? When the situations and the relationships in your life that you thought would make you happy and safe fall, meaning become dissatisfying, don't cherish them and don't attack them. All right. When something in your world dissatisfies you, oh my God, I thought it was going to make me happy, but it didn't. Don't cherish them. Don't attack it. Don't cherish it. Don't attack it. What should I do with these situations and relationships that have disappointed me because they didn't obey my rules for happiness and safety? What should you do? What you should do is just look on them as children's toys that don't have any meaning in their own. That's the way you should look at them. And if you see meaning in even one of those toys that you play with, then guess what? You see a meaning in all those toys. Don't see any meaning in one of those situations or relationships, and they won't touch you.
Okay.
That's what I heard about.
That's quite a bit.
What to do about the situations and events and relationships that disappoint me. What to do about them. Don't cherish them. Don't attack them.
Okay.
So anything external to me that I decide is going to make me happy or safe, and I make the rules by which it's going to do that for me, that's a blown up children's toy. That is an illusion that will fall, meaning will disappoint you eventually. All right, that's what I heard.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready for me to read to you?
I'm ready for you to read to me.
Okay, good. Appearances deceive because they are appearances and not reality. Don't dwell upon appearances in any form. Appearances only obscure reality. And appearances bring fear. Why? Because appearances hide the truth. In other words, don't attack what you have made to let you be deceived. Because if you attack what you made to deceive you, in that way you'll prove that you have been deceived. The truth is that attack has no power to make your illusions real.
Attack has power.
Oh, thank you. Attack has power to make illusions real. Yet what attack makes is nothing. So who could be made fearful by a power that can have no real effects at all? What could it be but an illusion, which means making things appear like to itself? So, instruction. Look calmly at the ego's toys. Look calmly at the ego's toys. That means understand that the ego's toys, those externals that you want to make you happy, they're just idols, which but dance to vain desires. If you'll not give them your worship, then don't give them your worship, because those idols are not there. Yet this is equally forgotten in attack. God's souls need no defense against their illusions, their toys, their dreams. Your idols do not threaten you at all. Your one mistake is that you think your idol's real. But what can the power of idols do?
All right.
All right, that's packed. Yes.
I know. What I heard him say was that appearances deceive me because they're not reality.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever I'm dwelling on an appearance, I'm making a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Because appearances, they hide reality, and the appearance of things brings fear because they hide the truth. So I'm hearing him say that if I'm dealing with any kind of fear, I must be looking at an appearance and not what's the actual truth, because the truth would never bring fear.
Nice.
So anything that brings fear is an appearance.
Yes.
It's not the truth.
Amen.
Okay, I heard him say that. Then I heard him say, "Don't attack what I've made to let myself be fooled,
Yes.
because then that proves that I have been fooled or deceived. If I'm making it up and I attack it,
Yes.
then I'm obviously forgetting I'm making it up."
Exactly.
Okay. Then I heard him tell me that my attack on something has the power to make that appearance or that illusion seem real.
Right.
Because again, if I'm attacking it, then again I'm not seeing I made it up.
Right.
Then I heard him say, "Yet what it makes is nothing. Attack has power to make illusions real, but since it's not true, it's an illusion, it's a false idea." Then I heard him the Course tell me that then you're really making nothing, because the only thing that is real is the truth. I'm hearing him tell me that the truth is the only thing that's real.
Nice.
And then I heard the Course in Miracles tell me, who could be made fearful by a power that can have no real effects at all. So if I'm attacking something and it's just an appearance and it's not real, then why am I afraid of something if it's not the truth?
Yes.
Because
Amen.
if it's not the truth, it has no power.
Yes.
It cannot last. So
Yes.
whatever is making me afraid, by definition, must be something that cannot last, because only the truth lasts. So the next time I'm afraid, I need to remind myself that the mere fact that I'm afraid means it's an appearance, that it is not the truth.
Exactly. And if I attack it, then I'm going to be convincing myself that it is real.
Right.
And that I should be afraid of it.
And I'm also forgetting that I made it up.
Yes.
And then I heard that the appearance is always some rule that I've made up for my enjoyment, something that
Exactly.
I'm projecting, something that I'm making, something that I'm making separate from God or separate from the truth.
Yeah, I like that. Attack means I've forgotten that I made it up.
Attack
Beautiful.
means, anger means I've forgotten I've made it up.
Anger means I've forgotten I made it up.
Okay.
I love that definition.
Then it says, what could it be but an illusion making things appear to be like itself? So look calmly at the toys. I mean, he's telling me over and over again that any appearance, anything that I made up for my enjoyment, any rules, scripts, fantasies that I'm putting on anyone else, I should see it as a toy,
Yes.
and understand that they are just idols which but dance to my vain desires. So I should not worship the things that I'm making up, the scripts that I'm writing for people, the fantasies that I have,
The expectations.
that I have. Yeah, I heard him say, don't worship them because they're not really there.
Yeah.
And I forget that none of the things that's upsetting me or any of the things that I'm making up are not real when I'm in attack mode.
Yeah.
So when I'm in attack mode and anger mode, that's when I'm completely deceived about the fact that the only thing that's upsetting me is something I made up.
Yes.
Then I heard him say, but my idols, my scripts, my illusions, the fantasies that I've made up
Right.
don't really threaten me at all.
Right.
And so whether someone acts out my script or not is not really threatening who I really am.
Amen.
And then I heard next that my one mistake is that I think it's real. So my one mistake is that I think the thing that I'm attacking or that I'm defending or that I'm upset about or didn't go the way I wanted it to go, I've forgotten that it's not real. It's not a law of God.
Yes.
And that's what it means when it says to me it's not real. It's
That's
not
right.
one of God's laws. And so what can the power of something that's not really real do?
Exactly.
That's what I heard
Nice.
in that
I
paragraph.
love that. Woo.
Yeah, that was intense.
Yeah.
But I love the idea. The main thing I'm getting out of this is that I need to really pay attention to what the voice for God is saying about see it as a toy. Because if I can see it as a toy, I won't feel guilty about it. I won't take it so seriously.
That's right.
And I've already been programmed to believe that a toy can't hurt me.
That's right.
So the Course is doing this thing again of giving me a new interpretation that would allow me to have more peace about what I'm projecting.
Exactly. And I love the idea of reinterpreting my scripts and my fantasies, all the same thing. It's a script and fantasy for what will make me safe and what will make me happy that I project on other people. Those are toys.
Those are toys.
Those are toys. And those toys you will play with for a while, but eventually they will break.
Right.
They will fall. They
That's
will
right.
break, and they can't be put back together again. You know?
So it's like people appearing to do what you want them to do,
For
for
a
example, for a while, and then all of a sudden it looks like they're not, because that was my idol. That was the script that I was making up for my enjoyment
Yes.
that I wanted them to act out for me.
Exactly.
So, and knowing that that's going to fall, that is not going to be permanent, that is
Yes.
not going to be consistent, that I don't have to allow myself to be hurt
Exactly.
when it does inevitably stop if I don't act out their rules for enjoyment and they don't act out mine.
And that is how most special relationships start.
Yeah.
They start with this fantasy that this person really is going to act out our script.
And they'll tell you they are.
And they'll say, "Of course I will. I'll
That's
be
what I
that
wanna
man for
do.
you.
Yeah.
I'll be that woman for you. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Just tell me what you want, baby.
Tell me what you really want.
Tell me what you really want. What you really want. I'll be the first
I'll
one to
do
give
it.
it to, and I'll do it better than anybody
Oh, yes.
ever has done it for you.
Yes.
So that's my toy.
And that exactly, that fantasy and that script is a toy, and it does happen that we call it the end of the romantic phase, or where you go into the power struggle, where the belief, the fantasy that they're going to make you happy or keep you safe falls.
Right.
And then you say, I feel so betrayed.
Right.
I feel so disappointed. Love sucks.
Right.
Right. And that what that really is just your idol and your fantasy, your toy falling and not being able to be put back together again. I love that. That's so wonderful. This really is the correction and the healing of our sense of betrayal, our feelings of disappointment, and all of our grievances. That's it. I love that. And also I love how it's the attitude and the awareness that we can take, that we can enter into a relationship with, that will keep us safe. Keep us safe from deceiving ourselves and hurting ourselves through that relationship. Now, I hurt myself through my relationships because I deceive myself.
Right.
I deceive myself in the relationships because I'm telling myself, ooh, if this does what I want them to do, if they do what I want them to do, I'll be safe and happy. That's me deceiving myself. That's me hurting myself. All right. But there is an attitude we can take going into relationships that will enable us to not hurt ourselves through our relationships. That's what I want.
And that attitude is that people aren't in, and the people I'm in a relationship with are not on earth to act out the rules that I've made up for my safety and enjoyment, and I am not in danger if they don't do it. That's not the catastrophe that a part of my mind tries to make me feel like if they don't act like I wanted, they betrayed me. Oh my God!
Drama.
That's my idol. That's the appearance. That's the illusion. That's the fear.
Yes. Except that people are here to act out my scripts, and that them doing so makes me safe and makes me worthy.
Right.
And makes me loved.
Right.
Oh, what, people are not on earth to act out my scripts?
No,
God,
people are not here to act out your script.
This is not a very romantic class.
But that's why the Course in Miracles is such to me, such a challenge for us, because we really have been programmed to think that love is someone acting out our fantasies.
Yes, and we call that love.
What's
really, that's a toy, and that's a self-deception.
That's a toy.
Wow.
And so our special relationships are actually toys.
Yes.
And our holy relationships are the relationships that are based on the laws of God. So those are the relations. So a holy relationship is just a relationship based on the true laws of God and the true laws of love, which is the same thing. And a special relationship is a relationship that's based on bargains and scripts that we try to get people to act out through anger or guilt if they don't.
Yes.
But it's just a toy.
Just a toy.
It's just a toy.
So, I love it.
Okay. Appearances can but deceive the mind that wants to be deceived. And you can make a simple choice that will forever place you beyond deception. You need not concern yourself with how you being placed beyond deception will be done. For how you will be placed beyond deception, you cannot understand how you can be placed far beyond being able to be fooled or deceived.
Wow, imagine that.
But you will understand that mighty changes have been quickly brought about. You will understand that mighty changes have been quickly brought about when you decide one very simple thing. You will understand that mighty changes have been quickly brought about when you decide one very simple thing. You do not want what you believe an idol, an appearance, or a script, or an illusion, or fear gives.
Yep, I can totally relate to that.
For thus you, the Son of God, declares you are free of idols, illusions, false ideas, fears, scripts, and being deceived. And thus are you free.
Amen. I totally see. I feel like I just went through that. I mean, in form. All right. So what I heard is that the appearance that somebody can fulfill your script and make you happy, make you safe, that appearance can only deceive you if you want to be deceived. The idea that something outside of you can make you happy and make you safe, if it follows your rules, that appearance can only deceive you if you want to be deceived. If I want to be deceived. That's the only way that could ever deceive me. Now, and I also heard that I can make a choice that will put me forever beyond deception. Wow.
Yeah, you can be beyond. You can make a decision that makes you beyond deception forever.
Okay. So what is the decision that I can make that will enable me to not be deceived ever again?
Ever.
By that fantasy, and meaning where I will not hurt myself ever again through that fantasy that someone or something will make me happy and keep me safe if it acts right.
If it acts right. If they act right, it acts right, and the circumstance goes right.
Yes.
As I have determined it should.
Even though what I say, how it should go, changes from minute to minute according to my mood.
Right.
My changing mood.
Right.
Okay. My bipolar mood. All right. So what is the decision that I can make that will enable me to stop being deceived by that fantasy and hurting myself through my relationships? Okay. Well, he said, you don't need to concern yourself with that because that's not your part. He says, you don't need to worry about what that is or how to do that. Well, that's good. That's a damn good thing because I don't know.
Right.
But I do hear that this, reading this and doing what this says is part of that. This section and these ideas and doing what it says is something that will put you beyond being able to be deceived again by that fantasy that someone else will make you happy if they act right. Okay? So he says you don't have to worry about, you don't have to concern yourself with how that will be done. That's good because you can't understand that. But you will see that mighty changes have been brought about quickly when you decide one very simple thing. And what's that? Okay, so that one decision that can place me beyond the ability to be deceived in my relationships and my fantasies is this. I decide I don't want whatever that fantasy brings. I don't want what an idol brings. I don't want it. Whatever I think this thing outside me will give me if it just acts right, I don't want. I decide that. Okay? And if I decide that, then I will see that mighty changes have been brought about quickly through that decision. Wow.
Yeah, I don't want whatever I believe trying to make everybody act out my script gives. Yes. I don't want whatever I believe a fear gives. I don't want whatever I believe guilt gives. All these are the idols. I don't want whatever I believe separation or specialness that's different from the love of God gives.
Yes.
Okay.
And whatever it is that I'm about to try to manipulate this person or this situation to give me because I think that'll make me happy, I don't want. Whatever I think is going to come out of that, I don't want it.
Whatever I think is going to come out of that, I don't want it either.
I don't want it.
Right.
Okay, I'm about to manipulate this person or this situation to follow the rules I set for them for my safety and my happiness. Whatever comes out of that is going to be not good. It's an idol and I don't want it. Okay? And when I make that decision, which I am free to make because I am free to change my mind, when I do that, I declare that I'm free of that deception. I'm free of those fantasies. I'm free of being able to be deceived like that. Wow. I would love to be able to say and realize, I would like to be able to say to you, I am free of being deceived by another special relationship. I would love to be able to say that. Right, so I have to say to you, whatever it is that I believe that the idol of a special relationship gives, I don't want.
Whatever I believe it gives, I don't want.
Even if I don't believe that fully.
Even if I don't believe that fully.
I can still make that decision right now.
That I don't want whatever fear gives me, whatever scripts based on what's not true.
Exactly.
Appearances.
And that's what a special relationship is. It's a fantasy that I make up with someone else where I make up the belief that if they will just fulfill my script, I'll be happy.
That's right. That's the idol.
And so what I'm saying is I don't want whatever I believe a special relationship based on that premise will give me. And that's how I declare that I'm free of being able to be deceived again.
And it's funny how it ends up, he says, and thus the child of God is free of idols, declares that he's free of idols, and thus is he free.
Yeah.
Because if I'm free of anything that limits me, then I am free. And what limits me is the scripts are not based on the truth and love that I have for everyone around me. That's why I'm not free. But if I claim I'm free of it, because I'm the one that's creating it, then I'm free.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. I love that. So when I take the scripts and expectations that I put on other people
Mm-hmm.
off of them, then I'm free.
Then I'm free.
Then I am free.
Yeah.
When I'm not holding you to that script and trying to manipulate you to act that out, I am free. That's
free.
the only way I'll ever experience real freedom. Wow. That's really powerful.
Yeah, and so I love that. I love the whole idea that I don't have to be concerned about how I'm going to be placed forever beyond deception. All I need to do is I don't want whatever my ego gives me.
Yes.
That's all he's selling. I don't want
Yes.
whatever my anger, fear, and scripts give me, because all they give me is limitation.
Yes, that's exactly
yeah,
right.
that gives my toys power over me.
That's it.
Because I think that they determine whether I'm happy or not. So if I make you the toy, you know, the specialness, whatever,
Yes.
the determiner of my happiness,
Yes.
then that's how I know I'm deceived. I've forgotten that I've made up the rules for the
Yes.
whole thing. And that you're never betraying me. That's the other part
Exactly.
that I need to get. When people don't do what I want them to do, they're not betraying me. When people
Right.
act other than how I expect them to act, they are not betraying me.
Exactly.
They didn't break any real law.
Exactly.
Because you can't break a law of God, number
Exactly.
one. And any law you can break could only be a law that's not a true law. It's just the appearance of a true law.
Yes.
You can't break a true law.
You can't break the law that really keeps you safe.
Right.
You can't break the laws of God, which is the only thing that really keeps you safe and makes you happy. What really keeps you safe and makes you happy can't be broken.
That's right. There's nothing you can do about that. And that's why I'm not endangered
Yes.
if someone doesn't make the rules, if someone breaks the rules I made up.
Yes.
Or if I break the rules
Yes.
they have made up. Even if we both agreed on the rule, it's still not a real rule. It's still not a real law, even if it's one we both come up with for each other.
That's right.
And we're being told that toy, that those rules that we made, they're gonna spin for a little while until some rule of enjoyment is broken in some way, and then poof, it falls and it doesn't get back up again. Because I find that when someone breaks a rule or an agreement that we think we made for our happiness, I never quite feel exactly the same.
No,
even if
that's
we go
right.
through the makeup period and we talk about it and we promise we're not going to do that again. I've already experienced that it can be broken.
Yep.
So it's no way it's going to dance for me to
Like it used to.
You ain't dancing like you used to, baby. Even if you say you're finna give it another whirl. As far as I'm concerned, I've already known you cannot do my dance all the time.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. So that's something interesting
I love
to
that.
keep in mind. Yeah.
Oof.
All right. So
Okay.
you're gonna read for me this one.
All right. So salvation or freedom is a paradox indeed. Salvation is a paradox indeed. What could salvation be except a happy dream? Because salvation asks you only that you forgive all things that no one ever did.
Okay.
That's why salvation is a paradox. Forgive all things that no one ever did. And salvation also only asks you to overlook what isn't there. And also, salvation is a paradox because it asks you to not look upon what's not real as reality. In other words, all you're asked to do is to let your will be done, which means seek no longer for the things you don't want. And you are asked to let yourself be free of all the dreams of what you never were, and seek no more to substitute the strength of idle wishes for the will of God. Well, that's it.
All. That's it. That's all. That sounds
Oh,
pretty
sure,
easy.
no problem. Well,
Yeah,
you got,
yeah, yeah.
we should be able to do that within, 5 minutes.
So I've heard that salvation, which is my right-mindedness, my healing, my forgiveness, my joy, my peace, I heard the Course in Miracles say it's a paradox. And it means that what salvation really is, what my healing really is a happy dream.
Or a happy fantasy.
And the Course calls this a happy dream.
Yes.
So if I'm going to be happy in what appears to be this dream, I heard that it asked me to forgive everything that no one ever really did.
Okay.
Which means I need to overlook what's not there, which are the rules for enjoyment that I've made up, all the
Yes.
fantasies that I've made up for
Yep.
everything and everyone. And then it says not to look upon the unreal as reality, so I shouldn't be looking at all the unreal scripts and demands and fears and expectations that I've come up with or what I'm appearing to see. I'm hearing him say, don't look at that as real. I also heard that I'm just asked to let my will be done. And the way for me to let my will be done is for me to no longer seek for things I really don't want. And I really don't want anything that limits me in any way.
Or disappoints
me.
Yes.
I also heard that I'm asked to let myself be free of all the dreams of what I never was, which was here to act out someone else's script as well as they act out mine, among other things.
Yes.
And then I also heard that I should stop trying to substitute the strength of what I want, of my fantasies, what I make up as my needs and what I think I want to happen. I need to stop substituting that for the will of God, which the Course says is for me to have perfect happiness.
Exactly.
And all of my rules do not create perfect, complete happiness. So I will seek no more to substitute as much as I can my fantasies and my scripts for the will of God, which is freedom, joy, peace, and true love.
Exactly. So in my relationships and my situations, instead of going in there like, oh, this is what I want to happen, I'm going to go in there with, you know what I want to happen is whatever is in accordance with the will of God, which is the will of peace, the will of joy. That's all I want to be accomplished by this relationship, this situation, this event, this experience. That's all I want. I'm no longer substituting my fantasy, my script, for the will of God, which it would be good for everybody.
Right.
The will of God is the plan that would be a win-win for everybody, and only God knows how to make that plan.
And all I have to do is not ever fool myself anymore. Is to tell myself that I'm no longer going to seek for things I really don't want, and I really don't want anything that limits the will of God.
Yeah.
To really just break it down.
Exactly.
If it limits the will of God or the will of love for me to have complete happiness, whatever that is, I don't want.
Exactly. And I don't want people in my life who are just dancing to my vain desires.
Yeah.
You know, what's your whim today, Anna? Oh, I'd like you to do this for me today. All right. I don't just want people who are dancing to my vain desires.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it says, here does the dream of separation start to fade and disappear. Am I reading or you read? Who read the last time? I just get the explanation, so I'm reading for you. Okay. So they showed you how quick, my fantasy blotted out everything I just heard. Okay. Say here, when you no longer hear, what does that mean? When you are seeking no more to substitute the strength of idle wishes for the will of God, here does the dream of separation start to fade and disappear. For here, the gap that is not really there begins to be perceived without the toys of terror that you made. No more than this is asked. Okay. In other words, be glad indeed that the salvation or the Course asks so little and not so much. Yeah. The Course, salvation, your right-mindedness, your healing, asks for nothing in reality. Yeah. And even in illusions, your healing but asks forgiveness be the substitute for fear. That forgiveness be the substitute for fear, such is the only rule for happy dreams. The gap is emptied of the toys of fear, and then the gap's unreality is plain. Dreams are for nothing, and the Son of God can have no need of dreams. Yes. Dreams offer the Son of God no simple thing that the Son of God could ever want. The Son of God is delivered from illusions by his will, but restored to what he is. Yes. What could God's plan for the child of God's salvation or healing and happiness be except a means to give the child of God to God?
All right. Okay.
The plan is a means to give me to God.
Right. Okay. Right. Exactly. There's my fantasy, which is, if everything around me acts out my script, I'll be happy and I'll be safe. And then that'll make me safe. That's my idea of what makes me happy and safe. What really makes me happy is when I give myself to God.
That's what really makes you happy.
And when I say, hey God, I'm yours.
That's right.
You are only love, and you give only win-win answers to everybody all the time. That's what I want.
Want to belong to you.
I want to belong to you.
I want to belong to you.
You only want me to be happy and fulfilled and safe every moment, all the time. I'm going to give myself to you.
That's right.
Right. And so that's what I come to learn, is that's how I stop substituting my fantasies, which hurt me and deceive me, of what I really don't want, for what I really do want, which is God's plan for happiness.
That's right.
And God's plan for happiness is this: give yourself to me. I will make you happy. I will satisfy you completely.
And my plan is showing you the way to give you to me.
Yes, that's right. That's salvation.
That's salvation.
Salvation is the plan. That's why I like how you use the word course, the Course in Miracles, for salvation. Salvation is a plan. It's a happy dream. So is a Course in Miracles.
That's what it is. It's a plan.
It's a happy plan. It's a happy dream. And so as you practice this approach, that's how your hellish dream of disappointment and deception and betrayal and pain, one after another, begins to fade and disappear. How nice. I would love for that dream to disappear. And the way that the old dream of all the painful, deceiving, betraying relationships disappears is the gap between you and happiness that ain't really there is cleaned out. It's made clean of the toys of terror, which is all the scripts and all the expectations. Scripts and expectations, toys of terror. They're like weapons of mass destruction.
Terror toys.
Terror toys.
My last relationship was a terror toy. My financial situation sometimes is a terror toy.
Exactly. That I've been playing with.
Everything that I make up that's not true is a terror toy.
And everything that I give a script to, that I expected it fulfilled to make me happy, I turn it into a terror toy that I hurt myself. And then eventually the head of my terror toys pops off.
That's right.
And then I'm like, get back up, get back up. And then it can't get back. Or I glue the head back on, and then it's like, it can't ever, like you said, it can't ever dance like it used to.
No, you don't. You can't believe like you used to.
That's right. Exactly.
You that's what happens. When it disobeys your rule.
That's right.
For happiness, a person disobeys your rule for happiness.
That's
even
right.
if they say they're not going to do it anymore. There's
right.
a part of you that knows it can happen.
That's right. That's right, exactly.
But you're not in danger. It doesn't mean that you can't really have a great day.
That's right.
A wonderful,
with
happy
your toys.
time. Just because your toy, the battery ran out.
Exactly. And that's all you've got to do is just see the gap. See there being no gap between you and real safety. You are happy, you are safe, you are loved. There ain't no gap between you and that you need to fill with lots of toys that make you happy. That's the gap that's not there. I think there's a gap between me and happiness. Like I'm here and happiness is over there in that body, in that person, in that event. That there is no gap between us and happiness and safety and reality. So clean out that gap that you think is between you and happiness and safety of the toys of terror that you made. That's all that's asked. All you have to do is just be glad that the plan for you to be happy, really happy, asks so little of you, not so much. Be glad that the Course in Miracles, which is a plan for your real happiness that can't be threatened when people don't follow your scripts, asks only so little of you. As a matter of fact, this plan for how you can be really happy for real asks nothing.
It's not really asking anything of us.
It doesn't ask anything.
Like you said, other than to stop focusing on what's not real.
Exactly.
That doesn't work.
Exactly. And all that the plan is asking of you is that you desire that forgiveness of people not following your script be your substitute for the grievance, right? That's all that it asks of you. My wish and my desire is to forgive people for breaking my rules for happiness, and that be your desire. And that's the only rule for happy dreams. That's the only rule for a happy day. That's the only rule for a happy relationship. My desire is that I would forgive you for all the things you haven't done and all the ways that you didn't fulfill my expectations.
And don't forget that the Course teaches that forgiveness is correct perception, or which is correct interpretation. So if you go, and even in illusions, that happy dream, but ask correct perception, be the substitute for fear.
And the correct perception is that you didn't deceive me.
You didn't deceive me.
You didn't do anything to me.
You haven't I haven't done anything wrong.
You haven't broken any real rules or laws of happiness or safety. Okay, beautiful. That's correct perception. And then once I want that instead of my grievance, my toys, then the gap that I perceive between me and happiness is emptied of all my toys of terror. And then the toys of terror's unreality is just totally obvious to me. Oh wow, that fantasy never could have made me happy. Totally obvious. In other words, those dreams that something outside of you can make you happy if it follows your rules, those dreams are just for nothing, and you don't need them. You can have no need of them. You don't need them. You don't need them.
No.
Yeah. And the reason you don't need them is because they don't offer you a single thing that you could ever want. Wow. And you are delivered from all of these painful fantasies. You are delivered from all these painful disappointments and grievances by your will, which means your desire to be restored to what you are, right? I want to be restored to what I am, which is what? Complete and whole and happy and safe right now. That's what I want. And in other words, what could God's plan for your happiness be except a means to give you to yourself?
What could it be but a means to give you to you?
Yeah. So that's like what we started off with, is that my freedom plan, the plan for freedom from disappointment, another disappointing, deceiving relationship. God's plan to free me from that, or like a chain of them. You know how the chain of disappointing, deceiving relationships, what does the Course call them? A chain?
A chain of savagery.
Around our neck.
Around your neck.
The way that the plan by which I'm freed from that chain of savagery is to decide that I don't want people to fulfill my scripts. What I really want is God's plan for my happiness. I want the will of God.
And then we were told that God's plan is a plan to give you to God.
Yes.
Love's plan is a plan to deliver you to love.
Yeah, to love.
To love.
Real love.
Because remember, God is love.
That's right.
True love. Real love. We're not talking about somebody in the sky arbitrarily kicking butt. We're talking about the love that which created us. That which extended us in total love. In total peace. In total safety. It has a plan for delivering us to that.
To real love.
To real love.
The real love that we are and could never lose, no matter what. No matter what happens around us. How'd you like to experience a sense of love that is unaffected and unchanged by whatever happens?
And to keep in mind that there is no rule that you can come up with. There's no script, no rule for my enjoyment that I can possibly come up with that's going to be consistently all the time acted out by anyone or anything that's not based on the laws of God, because that's the only thing that's real are the laws of God. That's it. Not Earl's law. Earl's law can be broken, and it's broken all the freaking time.
All the time.
All the time.
Because it's fragile.
But Earl is safe.
Yes.
I am safe. Raj is safe.
Yes.
So this is a perfect place to stop here.
Is.
Yeah, and to let ourselves kind of integrate and kind of be with that for a minute. I'm trying to tell you, because now I understand that, you know, if I have any kind of rule for my enjoyment about you, then I should be grateful that you do any of it, but I should never have the expectation that that's what you're here to do and that you're going to always do it all the time. And if you don't, it doesn't mean that I am not safe and in love, and I can have peace and I can have joy.
Yes.
And see it all as a toy.
Exactly.
All of my fantasies as my latest toy.
Yes. And that attitude will guarantee that you will forever be on deception in your relationships. You won't be deceiving yourself in another relationship.
That's right.
Or situation.
That's right. And also to keep in mind that an idol is also the idea of separation.
Yes.
And so I need to remind myself I don't want anything separation from God offers.
Right.
I don't want anything the separation from the truth offers.
Yes.
Great. So
right.
I'm going to let you know that I am available. I am available for one-on-one sessions called clarity sessions that we can work through whatever it is that you need to have another perception of. If you got a toy kicking your butt right now, you got a toy, a terror toy that's a relationship or money or your spiritual awareness or help, whatever it is, I'm here to help you with your terror toy. And so you can go to my website, earlpurdy.com, and it gives you all the information that you would need in order to do that. And even if you're out of town, it's okay. I use Skype, phone, whatever. We can talk to each other and help each other. And it also gives my class times and locations. And if you Google my name, Earl Purdy, then it's going to come up and you'll get a chance to see all the YouTube videos I have, as well as all of my classes are put on my website. So I want you to check me out.
Help me, Earl. One of my terror toys has fallen and it can't get back up.
Well, I'm here to tell you, your terror toy is never going to get back up.
Oh!
But I'm going to teach you how to deal with that in such a way that you feel safe and peace.
Okay, that's it. That's a deal.
Okay.
That's a deal.
That's
all
good.
right. And I also am available for one-on-one Miracle Psychotherapeutic Sessions where we take whatever experiences of disappointment with your terror toys have come up and we apply these truths to it so that you can experience yourself as free from that. And you can go to my website, annakujawa.com, and you can learn about my holistic counseling program. And if you go to YouTube, Anna Kujawa, Kujawa, you can find all my classes, Course in Miracles classes, where my Course in Miracles classes are. Also, you can find my Course in Miracles readings and my Course in Miracles meditations on there as well.
So there are things on there about A Course in Miracles.
Just a few.
Just a few.
Just a few.
Just a few things. All right, mighty companions. We love you, and thanks for watching. And remember that it's about remembering, so watch it many, many times. Okay?
Yes.
So let peace extend from our minds to yours. All right.